Hey guys, it's good to have you back here
Hello.
on the gram. Good to have you guys back together just to chat. So it's been 1 year since the film came out, right? So
It's
then
been a year. It feels like it was not as long ago as that.
15 years to me, only got on the opposite. Obviously, we had the pandemic rain down in the middle of it, so I kind of divide time into before and after at this point. But it's a good little memory to have before the apocalypse happened. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I agree, absolutely.
I mean between the time of filming, wrapping, and then editing the film, and then the first lockdown happened back in March, it was nuts. Like
Yeah,
I've not even seen you guys in person since we wrapped filming. So
I know that's like so long ago. We didn't even get to have a wrap party because everything went downhill after that.
well, definitely need to make up for that at some point this year. Or the
No,
year,
yeah.
maybe for the next anniversary for this film.
Yeah. But probably by the time that like all this is over, it'll be the 10-year anniversary. It'll be like so old.
So what I got you guys here for today is mainly just to talk about your experiences with the film. What did you remember most from it? What did you like about it? And what you guys thought of the film, like 1 year on?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, given how mentally draining this past year has, I kind of actually think the film hits a little harder now than it did back then.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of other people would agree with it. I don't know if you guys would agree with it. So let's start.
I agree with that 100%.
I think you made it, or you wrote it maybe, at quite a timely point, because I remember that mental health was becoming more of a topic that was becoming more acceptable to talk about at the time, I would argue. And so it seemed like it was quite a timely piece then. And then I didn't look at it for a year, confession, and then I looked at it when so I looked at it at the time, and then when the anniversary came out, I looked at it again, having more or less laid it to one side in my mind in the meantime. And then I looked at it for the anniversary, and I thought, yeah, actually, this possibly was timely when it came out, but it seems like it's more relevant now that, like you say, everyone's kind of crammed into a 2x2 foot cell all the time, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point.
Well, that's good because, well, when I wrote this, I was kind of hoping it would be one of those films that, you know, holds up very well after all these years. Like no matter when you watch it, it will still like it will still become relevant to you. Like I remember when I wrote this, I don't know if I told both of you guys this, but when I was writing it, I was kind of in a dark place when I wrote it. It was based on some personal experiences. Like Flynn was just me in the film, like, you know, overcoming my demons and all that. So writing it was kind of therapeutic to me, and seeing you guys on the screen just acting it out, it was, you know, it was just great, you know. Like, you know, it kind of just helped me overcome a few things, helped me come out of my shell. So
that's really good. And it's always nice to have that as like a therapeutic outlet as well, to kind of like keep you going.
At your service, Andrew.
Can't wait to get on the next one.
That helps.
So, what do you guys remember most about making the film?
I remember not knowing where I was going because I was like, I don't know if I'm here yet. Like, I'm a bit confused.
Oh, right, when we shot the first scene together, the scene with the both of you.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if I'm here, and you're like, it's okay, hold on. I'm like,
yeah, I had to come out and meet you. God,
I know. And then like there was a dog. I remember the dog that was there, and oh my god, she was so cute, and it was like the best thing. Like dogs are the best. So having a dog, like she was so well behaved too. She just like sat there, just like, hi.
Like a therapy dog.
Yeah, so it was so cool to have her like on set and stuff. It's just so nice.
I need to speak to you next time I do a film.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that night detailedly well because obviously it was the first scene that we shot, and I was just getting all the equipment together. And yeah, I really don't think I told you guys this, but I was having a bit of an anxiety attack before we were shooting.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was coming down. I was speaking to my girlfriend like beforehand. She was saying, "Oh, good luck with the shoot." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna lie, babe. I'm actually kind of freaking out. Like, what if it goes wrong? What if I become a complete disaster? Because that's my first time like directing like a proper film, so I felt like there was a lot of responsibility to show. But as soon as I was there, it was like the anxiety was gone. It was all relaxed, and that's really what I was hoping. Just everyone's just relaxed. Just I know it was a serious film, but I just wanted us to all have a good time at the end of it.
Yeah.
which is what I hoped I achieved.
Yeah, no, I had a really fun time. I'm not sure if Isaac did though, with me consistently yelling at him during our scene together.
No, it was it made my job easier, to be honest with you. If you're given somebody who's acting well to act opposite, it works pretty well. So obviously your job was to yell at me in a really emotional way. You did very well. So so it made it a bit easier for me to play the shy and retiring character. It was a good scene. And to answer your earlier question, Andrew, that is the main thing that I remember about it is that scene seemed to crack up quite well almost immediately, which isn't always the case with other films that I've worked on, although that we usually got there. If something goes well for the first take, it usually means it's the rest of it's going to be pretty good as well. And I think particularly for that scene, that was the case. I also remember this is actually a bit later, just because I'm not sure who's actually watching this, but in terms of in case it's people who maybe aren't filmmakers, it was interesting to see the technical side of it, because quite often when I've been in films before, I was working with various equipment that was quite further away from. We did quite a lot of close-up shots, really, with handheld shots as well, which I think gave it a bit more of a feel as though something was really kicking off. You know, you had I think it might have been an artistic choice to have a bit like a real close-in, possibly a bit of a shaky camera, which meant that your emotions were a bit more on screen, and possibly the handheld nature made it a bit more personal. So I don't remember that at the time, obviously, because I wasn't really focusing on the camera. I was focusing on Megan opposite me, but I did notice it pretty vividly about a week after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that too, and I felt like it worked really well with that scene.
When I was editing the whole piece together, like the scene with you guys arguing when the majority of it was on handheld, because we didn't actually have a tripod when we were doing this, except for the scene that when we were at the campus, we were doing the scene where you're getting attacked by the demons.
Yeah.
Which actually that's a scene I want to talk about for a second, actually, because I remember that night. You were coming along to the campus. I had a couple of folk on my night class who were playing extras, the demons, which I got a couple. I wish I had one with me, but I don't, unfortunately. I've got one at my girlfriend's place, actually. Like I remember when we wrapped filming, I just hung one up, and it's just stayed there since we wrapped, and it's broke.
Sorry. What are you talking about here? I thought you were talking about one of the actors. You got to act off.
I know. I was like, wait.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I took one of the extras home with me.
And you just like hung them up on your wall, like what?
I just never made them leave.
What, you talking? You got a photo from the shoot or something?
No, it was one of the masks from the shoot.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I should have cleared that up. But no, I remember that night vividly well, because when I storyboarded the scene, it actually wasn't a green screen originally. Like originally in my head, I had a theater set, and I was hoping to get a light shooting down. Like that's how I storyboarded it originally. But obviously that wasn't able to come to fruition. So the second best thing was to get a green screen. And I'm glad it worked out that way, because honestly, of all the scenes in that film, that was the one that I enjoyed editing the most. Because of all the feedback I get, it's just those opening 15 seconds of anxiety-inducing terror. One of my best friends said it's probably one of the best things he's ever watched.
Oh, that's so good.
Like just like increasing the sound, just like I don't know what the right term is, making the visuals all crispy.
Yeah.
And just, man, even a year later, it just blows me away.
I think it's a good contrast with the rest of it. A bit more of a surrealist take on the start.
Yeah.
And then it goes a bit more into reality a bit later on, which I think can usually work quite well.
So you kind of get the visual idea of how much Flynn's mental state at that time is just, part of my French, fucking with him, essentially, like mentally.
Yeah.
And of course you have the flashback argument with you two, which still blows me away. I mean, I remember I think I reposted Lucina, you two arguing a few weeks on the Instagram page. Actually, I think it was when you, Megan, got casted for Cavendish.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, she was here first, guys. I found her first.
Oh, I know. And then you made a meme out of it, and I was like, oh my god, I need to use this meme. Like that was so funny. When you were just like with me going, whoa, and then I was like, that's so cool. I'm a meme.
I never expected that I would make this film of all films to be a meme, because it's not meant to be a comedy, but that sassy line, I thought Okay, that's perfect.
At least it works.
What I was going to do, guys, is I was going to show you the film while we talk over it as well, like an audio commentary. Like I'm going to share my screen. Here we are, Martin Films production. Woohoo! You guys are the shining stars of that. Ah, yeah. So here's the scene I was telling you about, the absolute mindfuck. You see, I
love how it's kind of like that. I don't know what the right term for it is, but you know how it's kind of like all the different colors are on Isaac, and it's kind of like that effect.
Yeah, I
think it's really good.
I actually edited that like 3 times just to get the proper filter on that.
Yeah, because filmography. It kind of sets the film up pretty well because you're kind of not left under any illusions as to what's going to follow, right? You know what the film's going to be about straight away.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel like that gives you more questions to ask about what is going on, and just.
I remember this was shot at Portobello Beach.
Oh yeah, I remember that was probably the shortest thing that we shot. It was just we were there for 20 minutes. I'm like, hey, shot this, bye.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed more than a couple of takes for that one, and we did something wrong. It's literally just filming me staring out into the sea.
You weren't really working hard that day. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, I remember that. That was so funny. I'm just like sending you pictures for the snap for the Instagram account.
You know, I actually lost access to that Instagram account, unfortunately.
Aww.
It happened the same time I lost access to the original Martin Films Insta, which I ended up making a new one actually, which I ended up working out better. Because when I made that, I was promoting the new David McDonald film. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So this scene, the cafe scene. So we filmed this at Red Box up at Marchmount.
We did. I remember this scene pretty vividly. In case people haven't seen this film before, because I can't hear this, so not everybody else can. This scene was basically about Flynn, my character, pouring his heart out regarding his old girlfriend, who was played by Megan, to his friend, who you can see on screen now. And it was set in a cafe, which conveniently enough was actually filmed at a regular cafe while people were still eating. So they got a bit of a show while that was going on. So it's obviously you can't hear what's being said, but I like to think you can work out roughly what the emotions are.
Just pouring your heart out completely. I'm glad we filmed at Red Box actually, because I'd been going there for years beforehand. Really good cafe. Totally not promoting them or anything, but no, they were really kind of us to give us this backspace here. And well, here we go. Here's the meat of the film.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Here we go. Dun 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 dun.
It's like storming.
You're not gonna say anything?
I don't even know why, but my hair was like so like messy that day, and I was like, "This is this isn't great." I always really like the lighting effect of this scene, like just of the way that kind of was on me, and it's just like kind of makes it more like, oh yeah, she's not really that great of a person, is she?
Gives sort of a very sinister vibe, to say the least.
Yeah, that's what the word I was looking for, but I couldn't find it, so I was like, I'll just roll with this. But yeah.
Yeah, because the lighting on you, Isaac's actually very soft. I've noticed.
And then it's quite harsh, so then it shows the contrast of like, you know, Isaac's character's, you know, a nice guy, and then there's just me bringing him down even more.
It's interesting because essentially when one character's, I always find in one character's, I'm going to sound a bit like a wanker here, but when one character's right at the top of an energy level or something, you know, I feel like with very few exceptions, the other character can't be. Otherwise, the scene just looks kind of kitschy. And this is a pretty good example of doing this well, I think, because Megan's character was obviously coming in very angry, and that's how she was written, which meant that I really had to do the opposite. Otherwise, I felt like the whole scene could become kind of soap opera type style, you know, which fit in pretty well with Flynn's character, I think. So I think it was very well written because it allowed me and Megan to do the type of thing that you need to do to make a scene look good as opposed to make a scene look ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that was the intention of the way you wrote the characters, but it definitely helped get this scene right.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, because I think I only said one line forcefully in this, which actually after I said that line forcefully, you can see it here actually. Megan's lines were significantly less forceful after that.
Yeah, like
so,
like
You
Flynn's
can,
finally reached his breaking point. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
yeah, you can play with dynamics a little bit.
Then it was kind of knocked Kate down a level. She was just like, oh, okay,
Like
we'll just
never seen this side of Flynn before.
yeah.
Which was built up of like, well, you don't really know the full story of what like brought them in, you know, besides, you know, Flynn saying that, you know, he was spent years working in a toxic environment, which brought him down, you know, just made him feel like lesser of a person, and all that just like built up. It's like the demons in his head just exploded. They had enough.
And she wasn't very supportive of that. Like it's not it well, for me anyway, it was like she wasn't really listening or taking in what he was saying. It was all just about how she felt rather than about how he felt as well. So it was like it was kind of a bit toxic, I guess, because it was just more of like a one-sided thing.
I liked it. I liked it at the end. I liked it at the end of the scene because you kind of sort of feel sympathy for Kate as well, despite the fact that she's sort of the one that's chewing Flynn out. I really wanted to try and get both sides for people to see both sides. Like obviously, like Kate's just sort of just been like, "I've given you the whole world. Don't you dare shout at me." And it's like, well, obviously you can think at the first, oh, she's being like, you know, unreasonable, but at the end you're just sort of just like, oh, I never actually knew this. It's like, so you kind of feel like maybe things could have gone better earlier on, but
If she maybe just
because
asked him what was wrong or like actually listened to him.
at the end of the day, I think the lesson is that we're all human. Oh, I like
Yeah.
this. I really do.
Yeah, I was
this
just about to say that I really like the transition from that scene into
Yeah.
that one where it kind of had like that type of effect. If you know, I think you know what I mean, but I don't know the word for it. Because it just kind of smoothly transitioned into like this scene.
with Flynn accepting his demons.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we go.
Oh, that was so nice to rewatch that. I mean, I have watched it quite a few times, but it was nice to rewatch it again, but with you guys as well.
I just thought it was a good excuse to get us both back together.
Yeah.
Holds up well after a year, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hope it holds up for another few more years up. You guys are.
I'm sure it will.
Now, this scene of the beach, obviously I filmed that when we were doing the scene down at Portobello, but I didn't originally intend to have this as the backdrop, but this was just so pretty. I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna put this in.
It's quite nice as well though, because it's kind of after, you know, Flynn like accepts his demons, and then it's just like the calmness of the sea. I don't even know if you intentionally did it that way, but like just the way that they kind of like come together is quite nice.
Well,
and it kind of for me like symbolizes that, you know, he's accepted it and now things are a bit more calm.
Actually, yeah, when you put it like that, I guess that's sort of why I did that, because, well, to me, the sea always calms me. Like I actually lived down in Portobello for a good couple of years when I was younger, and I always found the sea very good for my mental health. And as I've kind of written this film based loosely on my own personal experiences, I guess that's sort of transitioned well onto the film. So there it is. After rewatching that, you'd definitely say that holds up after a whole year?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I believe so. Obviously, I rewatched it fairly recently, about 4 or 5 days ago. Before then, I hadn't really seen it since maybe the week after it came out. So it was interesting to see if it was how I remembered it, and more or less it was. And I definitely agree that it holds up.
You know, it's very fun to work back on, like this first proper film. I remember being excited about all the promotional stuff I was putting on Instagram and Facebook as well. I mean, Isaac, you're on practically all the posters.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. I have an Instagram account which I got for acting, and I've never posted anything on there in my life, but I always seem to be tagged in it by stuff that you put on. So that's appreciated. I don't use Instagram really, and every month or so I'll just check it, and then I'll see there's like 18 tags of me somewhere.
Well, what's Andrew tagged me in now?
Yeah.
That's marketing for you.
Yeah, it's appreciated. Gets my name out there without me having to click a button. So
Yeah, but then you having to do anything, so you can just sit back and be like, "It's okay, they're doing the work for me."
You don't have to lift your finger. Oh, I got you covered, man. For me to rewatch that after a year, and wow, it really does hold up very well for me. Like it's obviously it's home more now than it did back then. It's like, damn, like thinking about where I was back in 2019 to where I am now in 2021. And obviously the COVID pandemic's obviously been a hell of a year. Like it's had its ups and downs, but
Oh yeah.
going into 2021 more optimistic, and I'm just, well, I'm definitely going to try and be more creative, which is what I was just saying to Isaac earlier about how I'm currently working on my new film, and I've got a couple more ideas in my head. Maybe an invisible illness too. Nah, probably not. But it'd be nice to work with you guys again in the future.
Yeah, no,
doing
definitely.
Doing this film was an experience, and it's great to see that you guys are doing very well.
Oh,
Thank you.
well, thanks. Well, for me anyway, it's all thanks to you in a way, because like you helped kind of get me out there as well.
I'm happy to help.
So that's good.
Just don't forget us when you're famous. You guys are very talented. It was great to work with you guys, and I can't wait to see what other projects you guys have outside of my work. So it'd be great to work with you guys again, obviously. So
yes, that would be so much fun, because it was so much fun working with you guys the last time. So it'd definitely be fun to work on something else in future.
I'll definitely write something in next time. Hopefully, maybe we could shoot this year, you know, if restrictions allow us, or maybe the year after.
Yeah, no, that would be so much fun. I'd be down for that.
As would I.
If I can get into Scotland again, I will definitely join in.
I'll find a way to get you in. I'll have a word with Nicola.
Please, Nicola, it's for the creative purposes, please.
The drawbridge has been drawn up for the English, unfortunately, so I can't help with any kind of film at the moment. But hopefully, when coronavirus is over and normality resumes and I can cross back over the border. If you write if you write something, it will be cool to be a part of it.
Oh no, well, absolutely no worries. I'll be happy to write you guys in, just get you guys together, and yeah, just about to wrap up here now. But it was really great to have you guys on here to talk about the film, talk about your experiences. Really, thank you guys for coming up. It was just really great to speak to you both. I hope you're all staying safe during this uncertain pandemic, keeping busy, and it'd be great to reunite with you guys again.
Yes, definitely.
Sooner rather than later, let's hope. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you for having us. It was really nice to see you guys again.
Really nice to see you too. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.